An overview of management. What is management? Management may be defined as the achievement of organization objectives through people and other resources. In any organization, it is very important to achieve certain objectives, and the management can make use of its people, its employees, through their talents, expertise, and skills, and with the use of the available resources with the organization in order to achieve these organization objectives or goals. Functions of management. What are the different functions of management? The first function of management is decision making. This is the process by which a decision maker determines the available alternatives and chooses the best solution that suits a given problem. In an organization, most of the time, the manager is the decision maker. It is his responsibility to determine any available alternatives or options that could possibly solve certain problems in the organization. And out from these alternatives, he must be able to choose the best solution. Let's say, for example, the manager decides or would decide to hire an additional employee or not. Is to make sure that if ever he's not going to hire additional employee for the organization, he should have set of alternatives to choose from. And from there, he can choose the best solution that would address certain problem in the organization. Second function of management is planning. Planning is the process of establishing objectives and suitable courses of action before taking an actual action. In planning, we are emphasizing prevention rather than correction of delays. It will be less costly for any organization to prevent any delays or errors in the process or maybe problems to occur if planning has been made. The third function of management is organizing. Organizing is the process of arranging an organization's structure and coordinating its managerial practices and use of resources to achieve its goals. The fourth function of management is staffing. The staffing refers to the process of recruiting, placing, training, and developing personnel. Any employees in any organization undergo certain process, such as being recruited or being hired, and then they are being placed in a certain position according to their qualification. And afterwards, they undergo certain trainings and also development programs for their own growth and for the organization. The fifth function of management is communicating. Communicating refers to transferring information from one communicator to another. In any organization or company, it is very important that message will get across from the top management down to the lower management and to the lower level employees. Without good communication within an organization, it might cause chaos and even worse, troubles or conflicts. Therefore, this function of management of communicating must be taken into consideration and must be given more importance. The sixth function of management is motivating. And motivating refers to the act of giving employees reasons or incentives to work in order to achieve organization objectives. Most of the time, employees would ask the company or the organization what they can gain more or receive from the company once they do their best in their day-to-day work. These incentives or rewards help employees to stay motivated in their work and even show their loyalty to the organization and do their best in whatever they do. And so motivating must be given much importance in the management. Some of the function of management is leading. And leading is the process of directing and influencing task-related activities of organization members. Once a certain organization have a good leadership, then it will be able to direct and influence a lot of good things to the employees and to the people within the organization. Eighth function of management is controlling. And controlling is the process of monitoring actual organization activities to see that they conform to planned activities and correcting deviations or flaws. Now let us differentiate effectiveness and efficiency, and let's try to look into their commonalities as well, because these two principles are the basic requirement for the success of the organization. An organization can only survive if its activities are effective and efficient. It is the responsibility of the manager to see that his organization will achieve its objectives effectively and efficiently. This is so even if such objectives are parts of a bigger objective. Now let's try to define effectiveness. Effectiveness is a central element in the management process, which requires the achievement of an objective. For instance, a manufacturer chooses a supplier who provides needed materials at the required time and quantity. The action qualifies as effective. In other words, you can say that effectiveness is doing the right thing, while efficiency is defined as just like effectiveness is a central element in the management process, which requires that the minimum amount of resources is used to achieve an objective. An example cited above, or just previously, the manufacturer may be able to get supplies from his chosen source. But if the costs associated with the purchase are too excessive, the operation will be inefficient and will place the organization in a disadvantageous position. This is especially true if profitability is compromised. In other words, we could say that efficiency is simply doing things right. Now, what is a manager? A manager is one who plans, organizes, leads, and controls other individuals in the process of pursuing organizational goals. Managers are vested titles like president, department head, dean, administrator, supervisor, team leader, and the like. The manager is the one responsible of accomplishing the objectives of his particular unit, which could be a whole organization, a particular department, or work group. Managers are responsible for using materials and talents in the most economical and productive manner. As such, they are regarded as very important, if not the most important factor in the economic development of the nation.